Hello and welcome to The Gauntlet, Star Wars Saturdays, which is the ongoing 2018 campaign of Star Wars setting games where each month we play a different RPG, but we reskin it if need be, or we just use it if it's already got Star Warsy stuff in it to be part of a kind of the same time frame as Rogue One. So it's between episodes 3 and 4 of the Star Wars movie series. So Star Wars Rebels and Rogue One are kind of the setting time frames. The Empire is growing in strength. The Jedi are nearly extinct or legendary, and the Rebel Alliance is growing and fighting battles against the Empire because they suck. This month, we are playing a game that was originally created for World War II fighter pilots called The Few, written by Jonas and Krzysztof Ferenc, who are Czech designers, and they created this for RPG Kitchen 2012. And then they came back and reskinned it a little bit for play-by-post play over Tavern Keeper. And Tom McGrenery of The Gauntlet pointed this out to me, and I said, snag, I will just place that into my hopper of games that will be run as part of Star Wars Saturdays. And we've converted the game over, taken the notes that are already there, and then I just kind of grabbed some of the stuff from the 38-page PDF of The Few that was originally written for World War II and try to make a player's guide. And it works, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that is what we are going to be running. Everyone will be playing X-Wing fighter pilots, although as we proceed, this game, I'll be an X-Wing. As we proceed, strong chance of Y-Wings, A-Wings, and other such awesome fighter pilot fun. So they are fighter pilots, I guess, might be the best way, but generally we'll be in an X-Wing as the default. So I am going to, we have characters created already. Everybody's worked hard on that. Very excited about that. And we are going to begin by saying hello to everybody and letting them tell us just a brief bit about their character name, where they're from, what species they are, because we only have one token human. And if you have to jump on Wikipedia to know who it is these people are playing, I'm sorry, but hey, that's kind of part of the fun too. So let's start with Tomer. Tomer, hey, how are you? Tell us a little bit about your character.
All right, so I've got Sorguk Lee. She is one of the many children of Colonel Akbar. I'm guessing at this point he's not a general yet or whatever. And she was kind of the only one, and you can see it there on the right side. She was one of the only children. Generally, they're not like all that bloodthirsty, the Mon Calamari, at least not in this family. And so she was kind of the only one that really, loved to fight, and she liked, not just from like, okay, we have to fight, what are the tactics? And, her dad is really good at that stuff, but he's a little bit more peaceful. But, she loves combat. And so when she was young, that was, I only know this through Wikipedia, but the Mon Calamari were put in internment camps by Count Dooku, and she was one of the ones that helped, orchestrate, kind of the little rebellion that helped get some of the people out. And since then, she's just joined the rebellion and has slowly kind of worked through the ranks and is now finding herself as a pilot in this crew.
So you mentioned that she really likes fighting. Is it a thing where she enjoys the thrill of battle, or does she just want to kill as many Imperials as possible, or what?
You know what? I think it's both. I think she, like, the story she gives is everything to do with Imperials, because that's the party line, right? and it doesn't make you look like a bloodthirsty maniac. But truthfully, she knows that she likes to kill. She's built for it. And I think maybe even within the species, like occasionally you have one come up that is just, it's a survival, you know, kind of thing. And within her people, that would be a little bit unusual, and they would probably try to temper that down. But this is a time of war and rebellion, and she fits in perfectly here.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that you made this character because of the setup for this mission. It's just delightful. This is awesome. Thank you, Tomer. Steve, thank you for making us a token human.
Every group needs one.
Every group needs one, even the rebellion. So tell us about your character, please.
Takal Praxon, he's a human. He is from Sereno, which happens to be where Dooku was from as well. He was born to a family of performers, acrobats, jugglers, basically circus folk. And, he longed for years to basically get out from, the regimen, the training, what he saw as just being, boring activities. And he, encountered an officer who was with the rebellion and managed to convince him to enlist, despite the fact that he's probably not old enough. He's, enjoyed piloting a starfighter. He's a, crack shot, just, wonderful hand-eye coordination. But he's starting to, realize the awful truths about war.
Nice. So Takal, is that how we say it? Takal Praxon? Mm-hmm. Very cool. So he probably looks, and I'm just looking at the picture. He looks like maybe he's like 15, 16. He's like Luke age. Maybe
he's about 16.
Okay. Nice.
And I assume most, even rebel armies, have standards of, trying to make sure they're, 18 or, some sort of age that's appropriately mature for the actions they're undertaking.
Yeah, especially if they're going to put
responsibility
you
of a starfighter
in an X-wing, right? I think there need to be some kind of minimal standards to be met to be put in the many thousands of credits vehicle. So yeah, I completely agree with you there. That is awesome, Steve. I really am interested to see Takal learning the horrors of war, which is a nice juxtaposition with Sorguk. Sorguk Lay, is that right? Is that how you're saying it? Okay, cool.
It's exactly how it's said.
Yes, I'm pronunciation master. Now I'm going to screw up the very next one. Pavel, please tell us about Rurang.
Yeah, I think that's how it is pronounced. So I'm playing Rurang Dirgok. He's Nautolan. He's local. He's from here. He's from planet Askela. I imagine that he was. I'm totally getting like Fast and Furious vibe from my character. So he like started the swoop gang, but then maybe he was imprisoned by the Empire, like the characters from Rogue One. He escaped with the help of Rebellion, got back here, and he was a little bit more mature to see that, well, being a swoop ganger till the end of the days isn't enough. Maybe he can do something to start the rebellion. So he's still a fatherly figure in his like local swoop gang. But he tries to like get them maybe a little bit more straight. He tries to like train them so that they can also join the rebellion. But sometimes he has to, well, go with them and break some laws. So which he isn't happy, but at least he's a very decent pilot because he's used to high-speed chases and operating swoop gang and operating a swoop bike in space. There are at least not so many obstacles on the way.
That's true. You don't have to worry about buildings and people. That is great. Yeah,
just space. Just the space.
Cool. What do you think is the name of the local, like the closest populated township or city? You think it's like we are in the Outer Rim, and we're currently on Askelon. I'm imagining it's a temperate climate, tending towards a pretty wet area. So there are a lot of lakes, which also is for a Nautilon. So I'm thinking, yeah, if you want to think a little bit about what's the nearest city, what do you want to name it in Askelon? That is yours, Pavel. So
Okay.
we'll figure that out. Good. So how long has Rang been? Has he flown a few missions with X-Wing? Is it all training, and this is the first time he's going into a live mission, or do you think he's already got a few kills under his?
I think he already got a few missions.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Next, we have Christian. Pretty excited about Christian's character here. You know, you playing Yev Dub?
Yev Dub. Yes. Celestin. Niev served the Celestin Cryptmasters division as a pilot. The Cryptmasters are a funeral undertaker organization within the Celestin community. So he was stationed at Coruscant and made trips back to Celest whenever important Celestins died. So they had this funeral ship with sarcophagi and stuff, with old dead Celestins. Very important to bury them properly at the Celestin burial chambers. So just after the Jedi Purge, he was shut down along with his ship, believing to smuggle Jedis from Coruscant. But if that was true or not, we don't know. We only know that a Padawan was helping him escape. So I'm not sure if this Padawan is still around or not, but that's as far as I take in the concept.
That is pretty cool. So he was kind of a space hearse driver who ended up grabbing some younglings before that damned Anakin Skywalker killed all of them.
Maybe,
right?
yeah.
That's cool. I really dig.
I imagine them like being dressed in gray robes, like light gray robes, with only a very simple sort of circular symbol on the chest. So they were all pretty ceremonial in their sort of outlook. But when he had to escape, he had to like get other clothes or whatever, wherever he was shut down. So he found something else to, sort of.
He's from Coruscant, and he goes back and had gone back and forth to Celesta. He's from like really high-tech, civilized areas.
Yeah.
And now he's out in the Outer Rim, where there could be brownouts and second and third hand technology passed down. You're working for the Rebel Alliance, which nobody knows where all of the funds come from, but they don't come in a very, it's not a pipeline. Occasionally it'll be drips and drabs. I'm really curious how Niev handles this whole new thing. Is he a complainer or?
I think he rambles on in Celestin, Celestis, I think it's called. Okay. So you'll probably hear me say stuff that you don't have to respond to, but just that's most likely complaints or something like that. I think that he tried to cope with the whole situation, that his culture has been not enslaved, but they've been suffering quite heavily from the Republic shutdown and all that came with that. So I think he has just focused just survive, to be honest, and then sort of rebuilding something with the rebels that can take Sullust back to its former glory.
Awesome. Tell me just a little bit about the Padawan. Are you imagining, like, do you have a species in mind for this Padawan?
No, not at all. I'm open for suggestions.
And how young do you imagine this Padawan is? Are they like a
Like
child?
big enough
Are they-
to a grown child, but not adolescent yet. Maybe 10,
Okay.
11, something like that.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Something like that.
That's
yeah.
great. So we're going to say yes, the Padawan is there and on base. I think that would be an awesome base scene that we could have. So during this, if you could come up with a name for the Padawan, don't have to right off the top of your head. You can just message that to me at any point, or just write it down, and we'll announce it when it's time. So thank you very much, Christian. Excited to see Niev.
No, the same. Nice to be here.
Last but not least, we have Blaze. Blaze, welcome to the Gauntlet. This is Blaze's first Gauntlet game. So excited to have you aboard. You've got a group of superstars. Some of these guys are just amazing and have been part of a lot of Star Wars Saturdays, and I've played face to face with Steve, and so it's super exciting. You're in good hands. We're going to have a good time today. Tell us. So, by the way, I shared the character keeper with my buddy Paul, who does the editing for a lot of the Gauntlet podcasts. And he saw your buff, and he was like, "Oh God, that's so cool!" Like, we played a play-by-post of Star Wars World, and there was a Bothan named Hosk who was in the game, and I basically played him like a Bothan mixed with Rocket the Raccoon, so just really grumpy as hell. And so when I saw that picture and I saw your Bothan, I was like, "Oh my God, this is the best! I love Bothan so much." So please tell us about Borsk.
So Borsk has spent he's a careerist. Since he was like, I don't know ages in Bothan, so we'll just spin with it. So he was around 17 when he joined the Navy. He was finally put in a fighter jet after a couple of years, and his entire life has just been spent on this fighter jet. So he was in the Bothan Navy for like most of his career, and it's kind of sad because I wrote him as a bit more of as a defensive character, and he becomes more of a like I attract danger because I've seen too many people die. So it's like I'm just going there, I'm fighting for the greater good, but at the same time it's like I know that there is a father figure in the group, so I'm not trying to angle for that, but there's a sense that like I like all these young pilots are just all wild and gun stars. They still need somebody to like, distract the enemy when they're in the middle of the dogfight. They don't know what to do and confusion reigns. So it's like that sense of clarity and duty is like just really strong in Borsk. And it does make him come off as like very grumpy all the time because he's like, oh, you guys, you're so young and inexperienced, and I just want the best from you. It's like I just want to be there for you, and if you want to survive the long run, you're gonna have to be safer and watch out for those angles and dead ends and stuff like that.
Oh, that's beautiful. And by the way, you've just made the decision for me. Borsk is the squadron leader because he's got
Thank
so
you.
much experience. It makes sense. There was a rumor that Sorga, because of Akbar, was going to get it, but you're the squad leader for now. We'll see if you keep it if you survive. But that is really cool. Yeah, I could see Borsk and that little bit of father figure towards the Kala and Sorga because they're both pretty young and crazy. And Rurang, like, he's the father figure to a swoop gang, but that's not necessarily like a full-on father. That's like the oldest teenager and a bunch of punks. Oh man, this is great. This is a great group of characters. Very excited to get things going. Because I have had this much tea this morning before the game, we are going to take an early bio break, and then when we come back, we're gonna do quick scenes, like quick little intro scenes, just to as if it were a movie, and you guys are part of the ensemble cast. Quick little intro scenes of your characters before this opening scene where you receive your briefing. So take about 5 minutes, and we will kick it off.
I put in a little something about to our closest city. If you want to take a look, it's called New Taika, and it's the closest to the rebel base, ruled by syndicate from Nar Shaddaa. So if you have some syndicate from the Soul Bikers, you can like throw it in there.
That's awesome.
And I totally imagine that it's like a city of scum and villainy who like try to protect their business. So like smuggling going on and so on, but they try to pose as a not Nar Shaddaa so that the Empire doesn't rise them off.
So they're not Hut Space, so they don't have the protection of that, so they play it off. I like it. I like it a lot. Cool. Welcome back, everybody. Let's jump into it. So we're going to start off with Steve. We're going to learn a little bit about our fine token human, our young Tikal. So I kind of like to see, and again, this is a movie beginning. This is the kind of almost the brief prequel flash of Tikal. So where is it that Tikal finished being a performer? Like what did the planet look like? Is this on Sereno?
It was on Sereno.
Okay.
He actually had run away from Sereno to enlist, but certainly to be away from his family. So if the intro scene was of his past circus life, you see him performing in a very Cirque du Soleil, style acrobatic act. A lot of trampolines, running / walking up walls. Obviously someone who's in complete control of their body.
Nice. And then what is it that did he know about the rebellion before that night that he decided to run away?
He encountered, I guess, a recruiter for the rebellion, at one of the local bars, near to where they were performing. And it just all clicked for him, that, this was his opportunity out. So he wrote a quick note to his sister, Lissa, and, he was away.
Awesome. So let's say that the person that spoke to you is a Bothan. He's a lieutenant within the Rebel Alliance. His name is Narsk Silar. So Narsk is the person who was on Sereno, and he kind of talked to you at a local cantina. Maybe he started off complimenting your skills, and then you guys moved into opportunities, right? I don't think he...
and I explained, I probably had expressed how restless I was with, basically, even as a youth, performing basically, or training 24/7, with little real life, no adventure, no travel, outside of, Sereno. Because we were a pretty low scale act, and all of those things, Lieutenant Narsk, captured on as he figured out that he had, another notch to add to the belt of recruits.
And then Narsk, at the end of the scene, Narsk says, yes, if you wish to leave this planet, perhaps you should come with me. And then you take off for your wide-eyed adventure into the galaxy. Awesome. Then let's jump over to Sorguk Lay. So Sorguk, I'm imagining that this scene is somewhere okay, this is it. I'm pulling in the heavy hitter. I think that maybe this is a scene with you and perhaps Admiral Akbar. It's not yet Admiral, Colonel Akbar. And
right.
You're in one of the Moncall offices, so everything's sleek and white, and like it's this white glass, so it has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's very pristine. He's in that cool kind of hover chair type deal. He looks over a data pad, and then he looks up at you, and he looks down. Sorgak, are you sure you want this for your life?
Father, you know absolutely that this is always what I have gunned for. You know since I was a youngling that this is what I was built for. There's nothing else.
Well, the Alliance could use you, but your mother will kill me if you do not come back to her.
Have I ever not come back? I will come back.
He turns his head to kind of fix you with one of his eyes. He nods. I want to see a brief, and of course we can have more with basics, but I'm really curious to see a scene with Rarang. Rarang Dragog, I'm imagining, are there mostly Nautilans in your swoop gang, or is it a mix?
I think it's totally a mix. We started as just, guys who wanted to drive swoop bikes to their limits. That's why the bikers are called afterburners, because we started as just racing for speed, racing for agility, but then maybe we robbed a caravan or something and turned a bit of credits to buy better bikes. So yeah, I totally imagine Jenna is like a mixed.
Cool. I'm seeing maybe a half dozen swoop bikes that are all in array on top of like this adobe 2-story building on the edge of town, and there's a canopy that's set up where you're at a table, and you've got one of the let's say that it's hold on a second, brain fart here. Let's say that you've got a Doros who's maybe your second in command, and his name's Garantazi. And Garin is currently sitting with some Sabak cards, and he's trying to cleverly mark the back of them for the next time that you guys go down to a cantina and gamble. And do you imagine that Rang has a steady? Does he have a mate of some kind? Or does he keep himself aloof from the gang?
I think he doesn't have any mate. Maybe he had before he left, before he was captured and sent into prison camp. But I think he just, after returning over here, he just couldn't find her.
Ooh, nice. Nice. So we'll say that there's a Quarren, which the Quarren and the Nautilus have interesting histories. So there's a Quarren named Vassal who is sitting near you, and she's got her arm around, and that's when your comlink goes off, and it's a notification from the Rebel Alliance that you are needed on base. And she looks at it, and Vassal says, "We need you here. You should stay. You don't have to go on this one."
Kids, you haven't been off-world for quite some time. I've been. And if the Empire comes storming to Askela, I should probably be there. And you just stay out of trouble for a day or two before I return. Don't take any of those crazy missions. Just wait for me.
Well, she is not happy that you're leaving, but you take off. You go on to help the rebellion and keep Ascalon free. Not that these swoop gangers even think outside of New Take. This is their whole world, but you have that larger view, right? Next, we jump to Nievdub. Dub, I love the idea of this space hearse guy, and I want to see just a moment of him fostering this Padawan, So the Padawan, do we have? Oh, yes, we do. How do you pronounce that name? Togruta.
I was thinking Giondina.
Giondina.
Giondina? Yeah. Giondina?
I like it.
Yeah. Hmm?
We have Giondina, and how was this? This was not that long ago, right? Because we still want the idea of a young Padawan. So Giondina, the Jedi Temple is under siege, explosions, and you happen to be nearby, and you see this young Togruta. She's dressed in the style of the Padawan. You know, she's a Togruta, so she doesn't have hair, but she has the traditional Padawan kind of the braid type deal, and the robes. Yes. How is it that you coax her out of hiding?
Okay, so I haven't really thought so much of exactly this situation, but okay, let's. So as a part of the Crypt Master section of the Celestan culture, we are transporting the dead, right? So I imagine there have been a lot of Celestans on Coruscant doing diplomatic and various important political work jobs for political reasons, right?
Right.
So I'm standing on a platform with the transport ship, and I've just loaded heaps of like a large amount of sarcophagus with dead Celestans that's supposed to go back to Sullust for the burial rites there. So I guess I've been in contact with some fairly anonymous people on Coruscant that have asked me to transport some very very delicate, fragile goods, and I've been compensated fairly well for taking on some unregistered passengers on this ship from Coruscant. So I'm standing on this platform, and the winds are screaming around us, and maybe a storm is coming in with lots of lightning and dark clouds, and I'm screaming, "Come on, we have to leave! We have to leave!"
Yes.
The Celestes, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Come on. My gray robes are flowing.
Oh, that sounds boss. Yeah, we have a couple of explosions go off, laser fire over the top, and then she ducks down, terrified, despite her Jedi training, because she was never prepared for anything quite like this, and she runs aboard the loading ramp to get into your freighter.
It's a cigar-shaped, fairly long, flat freighter ship. So she comes along with some crates and some hovering.
I love it. That sounds good.
Carrying crates, yeah.
Sweet. And then last but not least, we have Borsk. I'd kind of like to see a flash of Borsk in the Navy, right? Wouldn't that be cool? You say he flew a lot of fighter jets?
Yeah.
So that's is that when you say fighter jet, is that you're imagining it's like a Bothan thing that's mostly Terran based, or like doesn't necessarily leave orbit?
Yeah, exactly. It's I figured it'd be exactly something that's like or exactly like land level or whatever. And Terran. And so we flew, like, it's funny because like I thought through what could be interesting for a flashback is not actually having him in the piloting. And so like you could have the Top Gun where like they're all flying in the day and they lost somebody or they lost a wingman, and it flashes forward like a week later, and this I'm just going to riff on something that sounds so purely Canadian, but I would just imagine that there would be some sort of game that's like curling where people go to like just like wind down, and like And it's the same principle as like when you have all these fighter squadrons or these schools of military where they go and after the pilot's funeral, after funeral, they go and play a game of this thing. And I imagine instead of ice, it could be like little anti-grav things or whatever. And so the point that I wanted to go in the scene is that like they're trying to they're recreating a bit of, so I don't know if any of you have ever seen curling, but it's basically you throw rocks at you're trying to get a target, but you're like, it slows down as it nears the target, and you're trying to knock, it's like bocce ball on ice or something like that. So you're trying to get as close to the center as possible, or you're trying to knock out the others to make points. And so it's like it's almost like you're recreating the entire dogfight on a strategic level when you're playing this curling game, because it's like it's all the feelings are coming back while you're playing the game. So I'd imagine that so in curling there's also something known as a skip. So he's where the stones come to, and so all he can do to direct his troops is to say faster, slower, and more to the right or more to the left. So I'd imagine that like Borsk is just after the funeral is like trying to skip this game, and all he sees is these stones coming at him, and he's like, he feels so responsible for them, but he can't do anything because all he can do is like slower, faster, more to the right, more to the left, and like the tears are just searing down his face, and I can't believe I didn't do anything to try to stop him from like dying. I could have, like, if only I was there more to the right, I could have saved him. And so that was like, that's the way that they deal with loss.
Oh man, that's wicked. I love that visual and the kind of the two, how they relate to each other. That's a really cool lead up. I love it. Good.
Hey, Rich.
Yes.
Can I do just one little piece of the scene that maybe we didn't see with Sorguk just before she gets into the scene? And this because we have Akbar here, right?
Yeah.
I think just before Sorguk walks into Akbar's, little where he's hanging out and on the chair, on the bridge or whatever, like you kind of see Akbar with like a little pendant or something, and he hits it, and just Star Wars style, like a little hologram kind of pops up, and it's almost like if you think of like a yearbook, just like tons and tons of pictures of all these Mon Calamari, right? And you could see General Akbar's up at the top, and then I guess whoever was his wife or the mother, right? And these are just tons and tons of pictures of his children, right? I mean, like hundreds of them, right? But only a few of them are in color, right? A lot of them are like faded in black and white in the background. And he looks over at one of the colored pictures and taps it, and it turns gray because he just, like he gets a message like, one of his children has died or something, right? So that's like the scene just before Sorguk comes in, right? And then he like taps it and closes it before she comes in the door, and then he's like, hey, stay alive. And she's like, yeah, of course, and walks out, right?
That's awesome. Since we're doing a quick edit, I want to add in one more thing where he tells you, I'm assigning you to Captain Ikar Ratal among the fleet. And it'll kind of bring us right into our briefing. I love that. That's great, Tomer. Thank you for jumping in with that. Cool. I am going to share a doc with you guys so you can read along, because I'm going to be that guy and do a little bit of box text because I want to get the names and stuff right. The frigate Rebellious, which was the flagship of this rebellion fleet, recently lost General Crimdin, and all the members of his staff. The highest ranking officers left are Mon Calamari Captain Ikar without delay Ratal among the fleet. Commander Cressida Carr, who is the starfighter commander, and Major Garen Lomax, leader of the Alliance Marines and Ground Forces. Overall command went to Captain Ratal because he has the most experience with operational command. All three of them stand in front of you, the pilots. You are the pilots from the Gauntlet Squadron, and you're alongside your fellow pilots from the Ragtag Squadron. You're also there with Alliance Marines, and all of you are gathered in the command center of Hideaway 1. Captain Ratal, the Mon Calamari, who has a grayish skin, he looks around at each of you and says, "It's been a few weeks since we came to the Askella system, but we haven't forgotten we have a great deal to repay to the Empire. All of us. We have a debt for General Crimdine and all our dead from Tark. For the Rebellious, the Call of Freedom, Tulara Ravine, Red Mist, White Hair, and Ray of Light. The names of these ships remain in our hearts, along with our courageous crews who died for the dream of freedom we have yet to achieve, but we still strive for every day." There's silence in the room, and almost everybody present lost someone dear on those ships at Tark. Who lost someone on the Red Mist, and how did you know them? Were they from your homeworld? Did you join up with them or train with them, or what?
I'll say I lost someone on the Red Mist. It was the one sibling that was closest to me as far as our personalities. So most of my siblings were, like most Mon Calamari, which were, a little bit brainy. They're not really all that, openly violent or whatever. But this is the one child that I would actually roughhouse with as a child. And, as he grew older, he mellowed a little bit. He wasn't like, I became, like a fighter. Like he was more like, okay, well, he became strategic and was part of, would go up in the ranks there on that ship. But yeah, he was somewhere, up on probably like the command center. He didn't run the ship or anything like that, but he was, on the bridge probably. I knew that before the Red Mist went down.
We'll say it was Lieutenant Commander Aaron Akbar. And that is who you lost. Love it. Man, this whole Akbar history we're getting is pretty amazing. Ratal's second command, a Bothan, hands the captain some charts and he nods and then addresses you again. You recognize him, Takal. This is the Lieutenant Narsk Selar, who recruited you. He's from Alliance Intelligence. He approaches a galactic map and clears his throat. Actually, if you guys look in People and Places, I think, or Picks. Where did I stick that? If you look in the Picks tab, you'll see what the briefing room looks like. So I'll just share that so you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, there you go. Gentle beings, on this monitor, you can see the sixth moon orbiting around the gas giant Wendig in the Wendig system. Apart from this moon, this system is not interesting at all. On Wendig 6 are mines where slaves and prisoners of the Empire are forced to mine precious metals. Nothing lives there, apart from some lichen. Atmosphere is thin, and for a longer stay you need a respirator. There are no fences there because prisoners have nowhere to run. The reason we're telling you this is we have learned the identity of one of the prisoners there. Someone with information that would enable us to strike a very solid blow to the Empire. The Marines and pilots, everybody whispers to themselves for a moment, and Captain Ratal takes over. We need this prisoner, so we will go there and we will take him. It will not be easy, though. The mines have heavy surface defenses and positioned in a geosynchronous orbit is a star destroyer known as the Domineering. Will prohibit us from a direct strike. This is why the Gauntlet Squadron will create a distraction here. And he points at a spot just past Wendig 6. Here at the last planet in the system, where our enemy has stationed the Indictor-class corvette, which they use for electronic warfare, espionage, and jamming operations. Starfighters will jump from hyperspace and attack it. I should force the Domineering to leave Wendig orbit and try to save the threatened corvette. That's when we jump in with the Ragtag Squadron, who will escort U-Wings with Alliance Marines on board. Fighters will destroy defense perimeters on the ground, transporters will land, and Major Lomaxes Marines will take away our guy and all prisoners that we can. Once they're on board, X-Wings and U-Wings will clear the gravitational field of the planet Wendig and its moon, and we will jump back to Askella. Then Commander Cressida Carr stands in the hangar as you guys move out, and she's surrounded by pilots from both squadrons and explains, timing is critical here. That Corvette is capable of jamming communications in the whole system. Until it's destroyed, you won't be able to communicate between squadrons. Gauntlet, you jump first and attack the enemy ship with proton torpedoes. You need to destroy it to get Comlink Net back and be able to coordinate with us. It's highly important that both squadrons are aware of Star Destroyer's location, if the distraction works, and how long we have for the Marines to save these prisoners. Without this knowledge, our U-Wings will be cut off and destroyed in orbit. She looks at each of you. With a short delay, and hopefully when the Star Destroyer has left its Wendig position, Ragtag Squadron will jump in and escort down 2 U-Wings, designated Minoc 1 and Minoc 2. Ragtag X-Wings will destroy enemy defense positions on the ground. We're not sure exactly what they have there, but we expect strong resistance. Every U-Wing will land a squad of Alliance Marines who will pacify Stormtrooper resistance, find our man, and load him with every prisoner they can manage in time. There are a lot of pilots, technicians, and specialists among the prisoners who could help us enormously if they would join us. Ragtag Squadron must protect those Minoc U-Wings while the Marines do their job. The success of this mission depends on these U-Wings coming back to Askella. Any questions? No? Gauntlet pilots, strap in. You'll be flying out in a few minutes. Your squadron leader will be Borsk. Ragtag will wait for the U-Wings to load. May the Force be with you all. And that is your briefing. And so we see the 5 X-Wings, and you guys kind of go up the ladders, and then they are lowering the glass protection, plasteel protection. Everybody's getting up, and the couple of guys are like fueling up, and they grab all of the hoses out of the X-Wings. And then there's a guy with a big kind of bowl-shaped helmet. He's got the 2 lights, and he starts motioning for you guys to form up. So is there any chatter going on? Anything, Boris, that you want to share with the group as you guys are preparing to take off?
How long has the group been flying together?
I don't know. We know that everyone has at least 1 or 2. Well, let me ask Takal, how long have you been flying? Because I think you're maybe the other.
He only has a few missions under his belt.
Okay, so a few missions you guys have been flying together.
Okay, so I'll say something like, stay in formation for as long as you possibly can. Only peel off if you've got at least one person that follows you in, and yeah.
Yes, sure.
Awesome. I have put your designation in designation / call sign, but we'll just go with designation there. And I'm just going to ask you guys if you can be nice for me and fulfill a dream of mine that once you guys we have a few moments, you take off from the planet, go up into space, and then bam, all 5 of you go into hyperspace. Come out of hyperspace, you've got all 5 X-Wings, and then can we do this the standing by bit, little count off? Would you guys mind? That would be so maybe excited. So Gauntlet leader, call it out.
So where? Sorry, I don't know where the calls.
Oh,
are.
it's okay. It's
So I feel like Gauntlet 1.
They're basically countdown by number. Gauntlet,
Yeah,
blah, standing by.
Gauntlet 1, standing by. Okay.
Gauntlet 2, standing by.
Gauntlet 3, standing by.
Gauntlet 4, standing by.
Gauntlet 5, standing by.
Okay. Proceed to attack formation.
Awesome. So you guys lock S foils in attack position as the X-wings, the S foils come out and you're now an actual X-wing. And cool. So now we are going to go to the point where I link you guys to the cool gauntlet drawing that hopefully will work for everyone. And let me go to application window. There we go. So the idea is that you were going to be coming into the Vigilant, which is the Indicator Indictor class corvette. I don't know why I keep saying indicator. So you are headed towards the Indictor class corvette, which is used for jamming and communications and the like. However, as soon as you guys come out, again, keep in mind that you have astromech droids. New contact, stars. There's a Gozanti class corvette parked near our target. So a Gozanti class corvette, which is a frigate that carries TIE fighters. They were probably powered down to avoid interfering with the Indictor sensors, but close enough to defend it. The starting engines now will be able to launch TIE fighters in a minute. So, I am going to share this with everyone with edit capabilities so that you can move your dude around. I say dude because you're all playing male characters. So.
Almost all.
No, we're not. I'm on call. So you can move your character around. I'm such an ass. I have your names by each of these. So hopefully you can pick out which one it is. I know the font's kind of small. I apologize. Hopefully it's okay. So the way that this works is you have over here these escape tokens if you want to escape, and you can gain advantage. The number one thing that you want to do is you want to attack the Corvette with torpedoes because your lasers are not going to be able to do enough damage to penetrate its shields. Mm-hmm. Your target with a 3d6 plus your shooting is 16. It is very high. A dogfight is freaking hard. It is carking hard to shoot somebody in a dogfight. So the best way to increase your chances is to grab a wingman, which means that one person is going to be the wingman for you. They are watching your back. And if you have a wingman, you get a +5 for your roll while you have a wingman. Okay? These are in the rules. I just want to go over it briefly. So having a wingman is a big advantage. You can also try to gain advantage, basically spin around trying to get things on target, and you can give yourself a +2. And I've got little buttons here that will indicate if you have advantage. You can stack it if you want. If you're crazy enough to spend a few rounds of just trying to stack up your advantage, you go for it. To take down an enemy fighter, you can fly by, which means you have a target of 16. Damn impossible. You do get to add in your shooting. Or you can try to tail a TIE fighter or anything that is a quick fighter like you. If you tail someone, then the two of you will have a competing piloting role. And if you roll better than them, you have a tail on them. And they're going to try to shake you. But if you're tailing someone, the next round, you get a significant bonus to shoot them out of the sky. If you fail a roll, you can choose to basically tax it. So I've got a little note in here about where is it? You can put a skill in debt, but we'll deal with this as we get closer. So everybody, take control of your X-wing. Oh yay! There's some Star Wars music in the background.
There's two Tikals listed there. Should I just take like the calls?
I uploaded the wrong person. Okay, hold on. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so who do we not have then?
Me, Sorguk.
Oh dang it! That's the worst. Okay, I'm gonna have to resize you. You'll be giant when you come in. Boop. Oh, that's way too small.
I love that you use the Star Wars font in there.
Hey man, what can I do?
Awesome. Can we tail the big cruiser to get the tailing bonus on hitting it?
You can, if you want to basically tail the big cruiser, give up a round to go up behind it, and then fire torpedoes. You can. You have 6 proton torpedoes on each of your X-Wings. The other really bad news is if you roll 3 1s, your guns are jammed. Luckily, you have an astromech. So in the few, when you're a World War II fighter pilot, you're screwed. But you guys have an astromech, so you can spin around. Basically, you have to bail around where you're not going to be able to fire, so you can have your astromech droid repair that. And there's actually side rules for more complex stuff with astromechs that we may bring into play next time around, but I wanted to get my arms around this with you guys first. Okay. So I set up the first round situation. Situation is the TX-271 Gazanti class frigate is deploying all of the TIE fighters. You guys can close if you want. You will need to spend the first round. If you want to close on the Corvette, you can do that. Or you can set yourselves up to go after the TIE fighters as soon as they are deployed and come out. What is it that we'll go with Gauntlet Leader? Borsk, what do you have in them do?
I suggest we go directly for the Corvette. We're going to be fighting TIE fighters for the entire thing, so might as well try to get some advantage on that.
Cool. And then I've thrown a lot of information at you guys, but just to remind you, you have 2 primary functions. You want to take out the Vigilant, and you want to stick around long enough to make so much noise that the Star Destroyer drops out of orbit for the Wendig and tries to rescue the Vigilant or take you guys out. Cool. All right. So, what is it, Borsk? How do you tell these guys what you want them to do here? Just give us a little color as you guys head towards.
So as we're bobbing in the cock. Your energy to frontal shields, and try to stay really close to each other. I know I said that a lot, but I need you to really listen. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to dive underneath the Corvette, and then we're going to pop up and back up, and then we can start, just try to get as much as a bombing run to its engines first, and then try to drop down to its captain's quarters or
awesome. So the bridge. Okay, cool. So you guys all are headed towards the Vigilant. Good. So you head towards the Vigilant. You use that first full round. Now I'm going to give you guys, because you're going to go straight ahead. Like if everyone follows Gauntlet Leader's orders, which by the way you have a choice to not, because you're in the middle of space. But if everybody is choosing that, you can get a +2 because you're going to go straight on to this target. That means you're ignoring the TIE fighters in this next round. So that is your choice, and I'll ask you those choices. Well, first of all, is everybody following in behind Gauntlet Leader, or is anyone peeling off to go their own way?
Following.
All right, cool. So we have a little squadron of 5 awesome X-Wings. And now I am going to bring out the TIE fighters. And as you guys see these TIE fighters come into play, there are a total of 4 TIE fighters. And it was the last one. All right, cool. So we have 4 TIE fighters that come out. They are flying. They are each in pairs. And then I will update the Gazanti to take off. Go back, send back. Awesome. So the Gazanti drops all of the TIE fighters. You guys close, and now you can make your first set of attacks on the Vigilant. However, you get a bit of information. Borsk, you, as you guys are getting closer, you see, and your astromech informs you that one of the TIE's pilots is a snake. which is an Imperial Security Bureau agent. The one that is colored yellow is an ISB agent, which means that he or she has seen quite a few campaigns, is probably an ace pilot of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Each of you guys effectively have advantage because you spent an entire round bearing down on your target. And I will make a copy. And if you guys all wish to make a bombing run at the Vigilant, you are within range, and the turbo lasers are going to be taking shots at you guys at the same time that you are attacking.
Question there: can we direct our shields, like full?
Yeah, we assume that your shields are being directed, and the first hit that you take will take down your shields, not actually damage you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool.
All right, I am going to go ahead and get my dice because I have to roll dice in this game. It's terrible. I hate it, but I don't actually hate it. I'm joking. All right, so you guys get to go first. We'll start with Gauntlet Leader. Go ahead and make your first attack run. You're using the proton torpedoes. You need a 16, unless you want to spin around trying to drop into tailing.
No, I'll try to drop a torpedo.
Go for it.
So I get a 1, a 5, and a 5, so that's 11.
It's an 11. You add in your shooting, which is a 2. So that does your first proton torpedo. It hits the Corvette. You see an explosion. However, it did not pierce its armor. It probably took out a few tertiary systems. And you do see a little bit of fire. I'm doing hand gestures, and you guys can't see it, but it looks awesome. It's a little bit of fire and electrical sparks that are coming off of the Vigilant. So let's go to Gauntlet 2, which would be Niev.
Roger that. Following Gauntlet Leader. I'm just swooping in, gliding up, and firing away.
Nice. Drop in some proton torpedoes. Go ahead and fire 3d6. You're adding your...
Yes.
Sorry?
I'm re-rolling the ones that I placed on the dice roller.
Okay, I'm watching.
Let's see what happens here. Do I have to fill out the numbers of dice when I'm re-rolling, or is it sort of...
If you click all 3 of these...
I just have to select them, of course.
So, yeah, you just select them, and then you hit re-roll selected.
No, a 10.
Okay, so you rolled a 10, and you've got a shooting of 2, and you had advantage. So that gives you a 14, so that's a miss. Oh, Boris, did we add in your +2 from advantage?
I think we did, because it would have been like a 13. It would have been a 15.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gauntlet 3, Ring. Make your attack run.
I think seeing how poorly it goes so far, V-Rank is going to break formation and says, "I'm going to get into better position." And I pull up. I get some. I get some more. I think in the base game it's called like not advantage, but yeah. I'm getting into like a better position to make like to make a better firing round next round. So I break formation and go for.
Okay, so you're trying to create a second advantage. All right, good.
To go for the engines.
Would this be a good time for me to order somebody to support him as a gunman, as a wingman?
Absolutely.
Because somebody support. Is that? Oh, that's Guntler 3. Actually, Guntler 4. Could you support Guntler 3?
Roger that, Gauntlet Leader.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Takal is now currently supporting Rang as he is now. Just so we're on the same terminology, Rang, you said, do you want to create advantage, or are you looking to try to tail the Vigilant?
I'm going to create an advantage because next round I want to do this thing. How it was called? Oh my god! Is it in this version of the game as well? Oh yeah, I want to do firing pass. I will spend both of them to get a total of +6, and I can hit with both torpedoes then, I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Or I will have like 2 attacks with +3, and I can hit with 2 torpedoes then, I think. So that's what.
Yep. So firing range. Let's.
So next round I want to do firing pass. I think this is how.
Okay. So next round you're doing a firing pass. That will decrease your ammunition by 2, but you get a +6 bonus to your shooting skill. Cool.
Yeah. Next round.
Okay. And so to call, you are covering him, which means that's your action for the round. The last person is Sorguk, right? So go ahead. What are you doing, Sorguk?
Gauntlet 5 going in, and she starts pulling down to do the bombing run, and maybe a couple of those little turret cannons kind of like just shoot over her bow.
Yes.
But she does a little spin and then sends in those torpedoes. Let's see.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so setting off the torpedoes, and we go over to take a look. Sorguk.
Ooh, that's an 11 plus what?
Okay.
4? Also close.
11 plus 4, yeah. 15 again. Oh, that's the worst.
But it's totally Star Wars, right?
It is totally Star Wars. You guys killed them all, and plus you're trying to distract him. So you guys are missing on purpose. Great. Now I get to shoot at you. Here we go. So
just a small detail.
I'm sorry?
According to the wingman rules, if I was getting advantage, then my wingman also gets an advantage.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. That is awesome. Okay, so now I am going to roll against you guys. There are on the Gozant has twin lasers, and because you guys move close enough, it's there to cover you while the TIE fighters are getting in position. So there are going to be 3 batteries. The first fire is going to go after Rang. Because Rang has protection from the wingman, that
it gets -3.
Yep, I was just making sure. -3. All right, so they have a shooting of, I hate to say it, but a +1, so they were -2. Also looking for 16. That is not working. Second fire is going to head towards, we're going to go after Borsk with the second battery of turbo lasers. So I'm imagining this is like a turret that's on the belly side that tracks, and we kind of glance in and we see a couple of the Imperials as they're inside that turret and trying to maneuver it. Oh man! All right, so that's an 11 and 2, but it's -2, so only an 11. Couple of those red laser shots just fire right over Borsk's wing, but misses him. And then the last
enough to blind me, but not enough to hit.
That's right. Enough to make you nervous. And then last but not least will be a shot at Sorguk, and also a miss. So at the end of this round, the TIE fighters have moved into position. So the leader, Omicron leader, is going after Nev, and he has a wingman. And then Omicron 4 is headed after you, Sorguk, and he also has a wingman. Gozanti is going to continue to protect Vigilant, and that is the setup for this round. We're in round 2. Pretty exciting. No damage to the Vigilant. It is in perfect shape, as are all of you. Rang, Gauntlet leader, are there any orders that you're giving to your fighters?
Who's in the? Sorry, I'm a very small screen. Who's in the back right now on the image?
Oh, so this is again abstract. So anybody can be in back that we want. We're just trying to show who's matched up against whom is really all the we're like.
Okay, so
like,
right now
the bottle cap. This guy's a piece of stick, and you go that way, kind of stuff.
So right now we've got Gauntlet 4 covering wingmen with Gauntlet 3. Gauntlet 5 is in front with me, and so is Gauntlet 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Gauntlet 3, could you pair up with Gauntlet 2, ensure that you don't have that snake on your ass, and then we'll prepare for. I'll take position. Sorry, I'll take advantage this round to try to get another shot at the
Cool.
cruiser.
So Rarang was headed into a bombing run. Do you want him to peel off?
No, I want him to like strike the bombing run if he's got advantage.
Okay, and you want to try to create advantage rather than act as a wingman for Niev or Sorguk?
No, I'll act as a wingman. You're right. Sorry, I'll act as a
That's
wingman
okay.
for.
No, it's good. We're all learning this together. That's why I'm asking some questions. Awesome. Who do you want to? Whose back do you protect then?
I'll protect I'll protect Niev.
All right, cool. So, Gauntlet leaders coming in behind you, Niev.
Gauntlet 2. I'm tailed. Need assistance. Oh, leader, good to see you.
My pleasure.
I'm trying to do a roll with a loop, like disappearing up towards the sun and back down again. They're on me.
Okay, I try to get close to him so I can squeeze out the TIE fighter, so the TIE fighter feels boxed in between the two
you
of
come
us.
in, you start mimicking his movements, and you cover his back. That is awesome. So you're his wingman.
Yep.
And he will get a +3 bonus for shooting. Good. And then it's a minus decrease for shooting for anyone that's trying to target him. All right, go ahead and do your bombing run, Rarang. You've got a +3 from your wingman. You have 2 advantages that you can stack to basically give yourself a +7, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to be clear on this action. Okay, yeah, let's do it simple. So yeah, I'm using a firing pass. So we see some fancy flying to avoid the turbo laser fire, and then I got like directly behind it where are the engines, the softest shield, and like almost no armor because those are the engines. And I fired the proton torpedo right in the middle of the engines with the help of my wingman. So I think since I'm using bombing run rules, I'm striking on 1 proton torpedo. Both advantages to +6 from my wingman is +9. I'm not sure if I'm reading this right, but
yeah, no. Firing pass will give you a +6 to your shooting skill. You have a wingman, which gives you another +3, and then the 2 advantages, which are 4 more. So that's a +13. You're definitely...
No. The 2 advantages are like spent as this +6.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So we'll just move those off.
Yeah. We're all selected.
Oh, wow. That's a great roll. 14?
Yeah, 14 plus my shooting plus this thing. I think we have a hit with photon torpedo.
Yes, a hit with both photon torpedoes. You let them fly. They streak across the space, the inky black of space, and you see one of the engines on the Vigilant wink out. And yeah, you have definitely hurt this sucker, Rarang.
Yeehaw! Gauntlet leader, we have a hit on the cruiser.
Good shot, Gauntlet 3. Good shot.
On the cruiser.
Nice.
Yes.
Love it. Okay, cool. So next, because you are giving up your fight to call, you still have the advantage that you've created, but you're still being a wingman for this round. So
I think I was taking out some of those turbo laser batteries as they were shooting at Gauntlet 3.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that. That's exactly what you were doing. Whop, 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 whop. When you take out a couple of the turbo lasers, they explode out. And then we show on board a couple of stormtroopers get thrown, and we hear that yell from one of the stormtroopers inside. And then we get a quick scene on the Vigilant as we have some faceless Imperial, and he says, "We are on heavy attack. We're requesting assistance from the Star Destroyer on Wendig 6. Please, if you can, send us assistance. They have us outnumbered. And then over the comm, as he is in contact with the Star Destroyer, you hear this cocky voicing. This is Agent Griffin. Do not worry about these X-Wing fighters. I'm about to take care of them. Cool. So now, Nevdub. I'll say your name 6 or 7 times. Nevdub. Perfect. I'll say it that way. You are facing a leader.
Sorry.
Do you want to engage him, or are you going to try to?
With Borsk as my wingman, I'm gonna spend a few seconds, a few moments to shake the tailing enemy and try to get myself into a better position. So basically, create an advantage of sorts, if possible. So making some crazy turns and coordinating. Okay, going left, going strong left, and then spinning
that's
around.
great because Omicron leader's intent is to tail you. So we are going to do head-to-head piloting roll. You get the bonus of your wingman to try to shake him.
Okay. And my piloting skill, I guess?
Yes, you're rolling your piloting skill plus the +3 from your wingman, and then he is trying to tail you.
All right. I'm going to re-roll my selection then. Oh, no. Gosh. 6.
You roll a 6. Okay, he has a wingman as well, so he gets a +3. His piloting skill is 4.
Oh.
I have rolled a 10, and +7 means that he is currently tailing you.
Okay.
So next round, he will get a +5 to shoot you.
Just a detail, I believe wingman only adds to shooting actions, not to piloting, like getting on the tail or shooting it off.
You're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, so then it would be 10 plus 4, 14. And the tailing an enemy. Rolls piloting skill gives the opponent's piloting to determine whether tailing has succeeded. So there isn't a target number. The target number is whoever rolls higher of the two. So he, even without the bonus there, which thank you for that, he has successfully locked on to your tail and will get a bonus to shooting and following turns. So he is tailing Niev, even though Borsk, you're there to try to cover his ass.
I can't check him.
Nice.
Really pushing the X-Wing.
Sorguk, what are you doing?
So those two TIE fighters that you have kind of right in front of me, where are they? Are they around me versus another
they're
group?
headed for you.
Okay, so then I probably say I've got some TIE fighters on me. I'm pulling out, and they're both kind of like swinging in, and so I'm gonna kind of like try to deal with them, and hopefully that distracts them away from our betterly positioned people.
They are going to try to tail you. So,
okay.
Why don't you roll your piloting? They have these are regular TIE fighters. They have a piloting of 1, and they're probably not tailing you. They rolled a 9.
I don't know. I rolled a 5. This is Star Wars, right?
Yeah, this is so exciting. Awesome. So, I'm just going to make sure I note this, and for future reference, I need to have a little indicator for tailing. Right now, Omicron leader is tailing Niev, and Omicron 4 is tailing Sorguk. All right, so they have taken their tailing actions. We have, after the successful attack by Reng and Takal, our turbo lasers are all, don't reroll baddies. They're taking shots on you, Reng. And that is a 12, not going to hit. One more shot from the battery on you again. And that doesn't hit as well. And one more. So some fancy flying, Reng, as you finish your attack run. Takal watching your back, and the two of you move in perfect concert, skimming over the front of the Vigilant. We have a shot from the bridge where that guy was calling for help as you just zoom past, and there are lasers that fire past you from the turbo lasers, and you come out over the front of the Vigilant, finishing that attack run.
Good job, Takal. Thanks for your support. Now let's switch roles. You do the bombing run. I will cover you. I will cover you.
I was waiting for that Gauntlet 3.
Nice. So next round, your intent is to do that. Gauntlet leader, any orders you want to give out?
Wingman, like switch positions. If you can't, if you're not being tagged right now, try to close in the enemy towards the corvettes. Try to shake them off and fire on that corvette. That sounds super desperate.
Sweet. All right. So, Nev Dwab, do you want to try to shake your tail? Is that your intent this round?
Yes, absolutely. I'll try to continue to create an advantage sort of situation. But first of all, I want to shake the snake, of course. I need to shake the snake, but I don't know that maybe. So I'm tail. I can't shake him. I can't shake him.
Cool. At the beginning of this round, over your comms, 12 rebel pilots. This is Agent Griffin speaking. Your petty insurgency is doomed to fail. I have enough loyal Imperial forces at hand to deal with your attack. None of you will ever leave the system alive. But I will spare anyone who will surrender. If you want to live, deactivate your engines immediately, and I will personally guarantee your safety. Agent Griffin, over.
Do we know anything about Griffin? Like, is there like...
You've heard of Agent Griffin. He has at least a dozen kills of rebel starfighters. He's a member of the ISB, Imperial Security Bureau. He's a snake.
I'm not ready for the final rest, the eternal rest yet. Let's take them down.
Nice.
Wow! Pushing it hard right.
Very cool. So we had a flip up of Rarang now going to be a wingman for Takal as he closes in for his own pass, while Nev is trying to shake Omicron leader, which is the snake. Shake the snake.
Shake snake.
What is your intent, Sorgak? What is your intent for this round?
So I think I'm going to send out just a quick message to my group and say, this is Gauntlet 5. I'll see you on the other side. And then I switch off my engines as if I'm complying with...
Oh, that's so great. Oh, man. I have a feeling you're being tricky, and I love it. Awesome. So, bam, the engines wink off, and you just coast through space, right? Because you still have a little bit of inertia there. And the attack run from Omega, let me just make sure I got it right. No, Omega 4 or Omicron 4, they don't complete their attack run. So that will be your action for the round. That is amazing. I'm going to allow you to gain advantage there through that action.
I'm actually going to say on the comlink, I'm like, don't ignore the actions of is that like Gauntlet 5? Ignoring Gauntlet 5, press on forward. Like, don't let them intimidate you. They're just peons. They're worthless Imperials.
Nice.
Gauntlet 5, what the cronk are you doing? Get back and fight.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see if Nev Duke, if you are able to shake your tail.
All right. So re-rolling my dice, right?
Yes. And I'm re-rolling mine.
Come on. That was the worst roll. Oh.
All right, let me re-roll mine.
Do you want to tax yourself to re-roll? But first, Matt, you want to see his roll.
Yeah, I rolled really well. So he rolled a 12, but he's got a +4 to his roll because he's an ace pilot. So that's a 16 to beat to break the tailing.
So what happens now?
he's going to get a +5 bonus to shooting you, which is what he'll do next round. So this round he'll be shooting at you. Let's see. So Takal, you're spending this round trying to come in behind. Is that what you want, or do you want to actually go ahead and make your bombing run?
Since I have the advantage right now, and I'm cocky, I'm going to go with bombing run directly now, as opposed to waiting.
The Vigilant is freaking the hell out. So all of the Gazanti class frigates turbo lasers are aimed at you and Orang at this time. So as you go through, you're going through a hail of blaster bolts. 3 batteries of turbo lasers aiming at you. Go ahead, and you need.
This is the kind of excitement I was looking for. Gauntlet 3. Let's make sure Gauntlet 5 doesn't have anyone to surrender to.
Copy that. Let's not cronk this up.
Sweet. Okay, you have the wingman. You also have 2 advantages, so you need to hit at 16. Let's see if you pull it off. Don't forget, if you wish to use the Force, you get to use that once per mission. If you use the Force, you can roll 4 6-sided dice instead of 3.
I am cocky enough not to, so.
I love it. If you miss, you can go into debt, which means that really bad things can happen, but it will allow you to re-roll the dice.
Well, let's see how I do.
Let's see how you do. I just want to give you those options.
Pretty darn good. 13 plus my shooting of 3 gets me to 16 already, plus my bonuses for the advantage.
Right. Did you do a firing run and fire off 2 proton torpedoes?
Yes, I did. Sorry.
No,
I was doing the same thing that Gauntlet 3 had.
You guys are great. That hits. And you not only take the engine out, but you actually see like an arc of fire split the Vigilant, and it starts to break in half. I'm doing cool hand gestures, but trust me, it's breaking in half, and one of it just starts sloping down, headed towards the gas giant. And you have taken out the Vigilant, the Indictor class corvette.
Good job, Gauntlet 3.
Yeah, I scream over the comms.
Sweet. Yeah, and now you guys had close quarters, right? You couldn't do any long range communications because of what the jamming that this Indictor class corvette was doing. But now that it has been destroyed successfully, the Vigilant is no longer blocking your comm signals, and in the next round you'll be able to get some updates from your compatriots. Let's continue on. So let's see who hasn't gone this round. I want to make sure that I cover everybody. So Nev, you need to shake. No, you didn't shake. That's right. So he's going to be firing on you when I get a turn. You 2 went. You dropped out. So good. All right. Everybody has gone. Now I get to shoot at you a lot. All right. Here we go. the Gazanti class frigates, all 3 forward batteries are taking shots at you guys. Here we go. By you guys, I mean they are all firing on Takal.
Of course.
That is a 9 plus 2, 11, plus they're shooting a 1 is not going to hit. Second shot is a 10, not going to hit. And another 12 plus 1 is not going to hit. These guys are terrible. You can't. That's why we have these TIE fighters. Sweet. So the Gazanti pulls in behind you, but you're much faster than it is. So the Gazanti class frigate fires all of its 4 batteries, and Takal and Rang, you guys easily give it the slip. Now the Omicron leader, the Snake, the agent of ISB who taunted you guys, Griffin, he dials you in. He's got you in his sights, and he is going to take his shot. Now remember, he has tailing, which gives him a +5, and he has a shooting skill of see, his piloting was 4, his shooting is 2, so he has a +7 to this roll. He's looking for a 16. And I have rolled a 9 plus 2, 11. You are hit You are hit, and your shields take out. You hear your astromech scream in alarm, Nev, as you. So please move your damaged from undamaged to shields down.
Hold on. Yeah. Shields down.
Cool.
Shields down.
And that will end this round. Now, Blaze, I know that you need to go. So do you want to give any parting? Do you want Boris to continue to just give wingman bonuses to whomever?
Yeah, I will just follow Wingman until hopefully Niev survives, and if not, by some sad chance, I'll move on to whoever is being tailed. Except, and I really hope that Gauntlet 5 is actually going to come back to the battle. If not, yeah.
We'll see.
Have a great game, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. See you, Blaze.
Bye.
And Blaze will be here for the full
Yes.
full
Yes,
game
I'll
session
be here
future.
every
Just this one time
future.
he had to bail, so it's no biggie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, hold on just a second. I am going to do a thing. All right. Oh man, I didn't actually grab the picture correctly. Okay, cool. I had a cool picture, but I didn't move it right. Good. So hold on just a second, and we will.
Yeah. Just to get the accounting right, when doing firing pass, we spent 1 torpedo or 2 torpedoes?
2 torpedoes. Thank you for asking that question. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Aha! So here we
Nice.
do this, and then we'll send this to back. There we go. Bam!
Wow.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yay! I got a picture of the explosion. All right. So Nev, you just got hit. And Takal and Rang, you just finished your successful bombing run. Congratulations. I'm amazed by you. Sorguk, you cowardly so-and-so. You spend the entire round doing bad things, and it's just, you're so bad. It's so bad. All right, so that will end our round then because I've done my actions. Cool. So Borsk is staying by you, Nev, so you still have the wingman bonus. The intent from these guys is the Gazanti is trying to give chase to Takal and Rang, and then the 2 Omicrons are actually peeling off, and they are going to be heading towards Rang and try to tail Rang.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you are doing to call?
Gauntlet 3, let's join up. Niev's been hit. Let's see if we can shake it, take out his tail.
Yeah, let's get on their tail and show them some firing, some photon torpedoes fire.
Nice.
Thanks.
Cool. Go ahead and take your shot, unless you wanted a tail. If you want to just do a flyby, you can.
You know, I want to get into a tailing position first.
Okay. And just so I'm clear to call, are you trying to tail Omicron 3 or the Omicron leader?
You know, the Omicron leader is probably the one that shot him, so I'm trying to tail the Omicron leader.
Okay. So then we'll just kind of do like this. And then we'll have Rang come back here. But are you continuing to wingman Rang, or do you want to break off and do your own thing?
I was thinking tactically, if I will just stay here, it's like a waste of a turn.
Mm-hmm.
I will I will like break off and start and try to get on a tail of Omicron. Those guys on the bottom, the letters are so small I can't see them.
Let me hear. I'll make them a little bigger.
No, I will enhance it on my end as well. No, this Omicron 2, Omicron 4. Yeah. Gauntlet 4, I will keep the other two typewriters busy. I wish you luck, and I'm going to go on a tail of Omicron, whichever. Yeah, Omicron 2.
Okay, that's interesting because Omicron 4 is trying to tail you. So you guys are in some crazy dogfight 3D scenario stuff going on. That's really neat. Why don't you go ahead and roll to tail?
Yeah. So we see us just like speeding up from the frigate, and we like separate. We do like a flyby, and then we just like go separate ways. And yeah, I'm just trying to select the dice. I'm getting some notifications. Reroll. I got 10 with my piloting. It's 13.
13. Okay, here we go. I rolled a 10 plus 1 for their piloting. You are tailing.
Cool. So I'm on a tail of. I think I said Omicron 2. So I'm going to position myself over here.
Okay, great. All right. Good deal. Sweet. So as you are shaking the tail, all of you guys hear, finally you hear communication from your from the ragtag group, and you also, let's see, make sure I get my name right. You hear from Commander Cressida Carr as Carr comes on and says, Gauntlet leader, it's nice to hear you finally. Situation down here is a little complicated. We've managed to deal with most of the resistance. Both Minox have landed safely, and the Marines are liberating the prisoners. We have not found our target at this point. We need more time. They have 8 AT-ATs and 2 transports. The Imperials are going to be using his improvised bombers to destroy the base before we can capture it, and they're closing in. Good news is that Ragtag 4 has managed to escape with a group of prisoners in enemy transport, so if some of them greet you, do not shoot her down. Ragtag leader, over. Cool. So we have the tailing from your tailing Omicron 2. Omicron 4 is going to try to tail you when I get a shot. Nevdwab, let's see. What are you doing right now? Omicron leader is going to try to shoot you out of space.
Oh, I still gonna try to shake his shake the
Awesome.
tail. Shake the
Go
snake.
for it. All right, so
all right.
you want a piloting roll.
Yes. Hold on. No, wait. Okay. I was thinking I was using the force as well.
Okay,
Possible?
go ahead. You roll 4 dice.
Yeah. So I've been pushed now pretty far, and as my shields are down, and I guess there are maybe even some sparks flying around, like, I'm not really a force adapt or anything like that, but as I've been spending some time with this Padawan and seeing some stuff that she has done and talked about, like, Giandina, if you feel me now, just put in that last little thought on me,
Awesome.
Really trying to push it.
Really help you pull this off.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Can I add a dice to this result?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what do? I just roll one more?
Yeah, just roll one more.
I do.
You've rolled a 12.
Yeah.
You're going to roll one more die.
And I not re-roll, but submit.
So, yeah, exactly. Submit.
Okay, so a 5. Yeah, that makes it 6, 12, 17. And I have my piloting of 3, so 20.
20? I have to beat a 20? Oh my. All right. That is wonderful. Let's see if the snake can continue covering you. I'm going to all right. Here we go. Holy crap! I rolled a 16 plus 4, which is a 20. So how do ties go on tailing? Hold on just a sec. Double check that.
Sick.
Tailing an enemy is successful if unsuccessful. Okay. The rolls are piling against their to determine whether tailing has succeeded. Huh. That's not clear. I'm going to say you have to beat it, right? Because you're trying to keep tailing, which means that he rolled a 20, which doesn't beat you. You broke the tail. It's pretty wicked. Awesome. Cool.
Cool. Okay, I'm all in. So
sweet. So
I'm off. I've shaken him. Let's take this. Is it frigate? Is frigate? Yeah.
Yeah. You want to take out the Gazanti class frigate?
I'm not sure. Have I just spent everything that I can muster for this round on shaking him, or I don't have any advantages?
Yeah, you don't have any advantages. You basically just broke out of a tail, which is a really smart call.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I guess
call,
I'm done, right?
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And Borsk had your back. So to call, what are you doing this round? You want to go ahead and make your attack?
I'm trying to like I'm not letting he's distracted. Let me see if I can get on his tail.
Nice. You've got a good chance. He just rolled a 9 plus 4 is 13. Can you beat a 13?
I only rolled a 9 plus less, so 11.
11? All right, cool. So he is tricky. You see him weaving back and forth. You're trying to bring him in the targeting reticle, and he keeps bouncing around. And then the Omicron 3 fires at you, and you have to break off, and so you're unable to get a tail on him. And then I believe that we have 2 more. Rang, you are going after Omicron 2?
Yeah, we already resolved my action this round, so I got on a tail of Omicron 2.
Okay.
I think from our side only Sorguch has to decide whether to turn or not.
So are you going to remain inert, Sorga?
No, of course not. This is Star Wars.
Yes.
So, and I think maybe in the scene, you know, like the ship is all powered down, right? And so what is Omicron 2 tailing Rang? Is that what's going on?
Other way around. Rang actually is tailing Omicron 2, and Omicron 4 had broken off and was trying to go up and take off after Borsk.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is, like, you know, you'll see Sorguk in the cockpit, and she reaches down kind of under the, you know, the console and flips this, you know, it looks almost like a little switch or something, and the engines just roar to life, right? And she goes straight for Omicron 4, and tries to shoot him down.
Awesome. Your father made sure that you had an R2 unit, because even though the R5s are way cheaper, they're not nearly as good. So your R2 lets out like a little scream of wow as you take off. And so you're just going to fire with that advantage and see if you can take this one out?
Yeah.
Awesome. Go for it.
I think the R2 unit is definitely, you can hear it going like in an unimproving manner. All right, let's see. So reroll. Oh yes, I like that. 5, 5, 6, so 16 plus whatever.
That is awesome. You take it out of the space, out of the sky. I started saying you can't. Boom. So you use up that advantage. You take out Omicron 4. It never saw you coming. It trusted you to be a coward that had surrendered, and it was wrong. Amazing. So the TIE fighter goes down. We need to mark that because that gets you a kill. Congratulations. And does that end the round? I think that ends the round. Yes? Just making sure.
The bad guys now.
Okay, cool. So we go Sorguk.
Glad to see you're still with us, Gauntlet 5.
Was there ever any doubt?
I love your Mon Calamari accent. It's the best. Okay. So we have the Gazanti class frigate, which was firing on Tikal, and Omicron leader still, he's broken his tail, but he's pissed, so he is going to fire on you. He's going to fire on you, Niv, just a straight up fire. So he's got a 16. He's lost his bonus. He still has a wingman, which gives him a +3. So he is looking for a 13. His piloting a 4 means he just needs a 9 on these 3 dice. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, wow. Oh, man. He had all the bonus. Average says he would have hit you. But evidently, your Togruta Padawan connection has helped you as he tries to dial in and fire at you in a flyby, but you duck out of the way and just veer off, peel away. And Omicron Leader as well as Omicron 3 continue on past you. And so to call, you were headed after Omicron 3. Omicron 3 is pretty nervous about this, so he's going to try to shake
actually after Omicron Leader, but...
Oh, you were going after Omicron Leader. You're right. You're right.
But
but he just fired, so he's not going to shake you. So you have him. You're going to continue to tail him next round because you failed, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So Omicron 2 is going. His action is he's going to try to shake you, Rarang, because that's not good. He just saw his buddy get shot down. So he has rolled a 12.
Okay, let me reroll. 6, 9. Yeah, I got 12 with piloting, so he probably does it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you know, I'm I really wanna like shine a little bit because Tikal got the kill on the big ship. I wanna how it was exhaust myself. No, yeah, I wanna like reroll. So
okay, you're gonna go into debt.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I will go into that. It looks like he almost got free, but then I like maneuver, and it's like red scope. No, red aiming indicator is like hopefully we'll get right back on him. So I'm going to put myself in that and reroll. Nope, didn't help.
Okay. Dang.
Not to shooting, but to piloting. I
Just
will
not
move
your
it.
day.
I'll move it to piloting.
Okay. Cool. That ends my round. So at the beginning of this round, we have 3 TIE fighters. We have the Gazanti class frigate. You receive an update from your from the Starfighter command, your commander, Cressida Carr, advising you that the Star Destroyer is en route, but you still need to buy some time. She's hoping that by the time the Star Destroyer arrives, and it's not able to jump, like it's not going to go into hyperspace to reach you guys, so it's traveling a few planets. You have a few minutes. So what I need from you, Gauntlet squad, is you need to hold tight. Take out these TIE fighters and let that Star Destroyer come on you. But hopefully we are able to get out of here before that destroyer brings to bear all of her weapons. Good luck. Cool. So that's at the beginning of the round. We have Omicron Leader is we broke the tail, so he is no longer tailing Nev, and he is not being tailed by Tikal, but you're behind him. So you guys are kind of like this. We got a wingman. You're behind, but not tailing, and then Bosk is behind you. Sorguk, you destroyed an Omicron 4, and then we have Rarang, who is in a dogfight with Omicron 2. So, Sorguk, where are you headed? What's your intent here? Gazanti is close enough now with what's going on to where its laser batteries are going to be brought to bear this round, just so you guys know. They will be firing on you.
Right. Is there a way to kind of distract and take advantage of... So I've kind of when we were being told to shut down our engines, was that who was that? Was that the same
yellow Omicron Leader?
Omicron Leader, right? So is there a way to kind of go in and try to create an advantage for the other pilots there, where maybe I either shoot at it, or do I just kind of
you can be a wingman for Tikal or a wingman for Nev to give the wingman bonuses to either of them.
Okay. Why don't I be a wingman for Nev?
I believe a fighter can have only one wingman according to the rules.
Oh, you're right. A bomber can have more than one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then you know what?
Support is in my. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I can just like we want to take out the frigate, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go straight for it then.
You're crazy. I love it. Okay, so you're going after the Gazanti, which had closed on you guys. So you just turn right around and go after it on a bombing run. Are you looking to make a bombing run right now, or do you want to try to gain advantage and then go for your bombing run? Bombing run, if you want to do a firing pass, you get a +6, which means you just need a 10 or better.
Right.
But you need to have 2 advantages to do firing pass.
Yes, thank you. So do you want
Um,
to try to gain advantage?
I'll get an advantage. Let's do that.
All right, so that's your action for this round, is trying to gain advantage. Takal, what are you doing this round?
You know, I think Omicron is a better pilot than I am. So I am, you know, you see me, you know, kind of duck and weave as if I'm going to try and continue to try and tail him, and instead I just open fire.
Okay. That's
Impatient
bold.
I am.
Love it. Cool. So you're just firing on Omicron leader. Nev, what are you doing this round?
I'm gonna make a loop and get behind the Omicron leader and tail him.
Okay.
That's my ambition. Yeah.
And then Rarang, what's your intent?
Yeah, I'm in a dogfight one-on-one, so sounds cool. So he escaped my aiming indicator. We see him like fly away, and then just like get on the push the engines to the limit and try to get back on him.
Okay, cool. So let's start with you, Rang. See if you can tail this guy.
It's going to be progressively more difficult.
I rolled a 13. You need to be a 13.
Probably not, but
I'm super lucky.
Oh, yep. I have 9. I have 11 plus 2. I have also 13.
Ah, but you have to beat it. That was the
Okay.
thing. So.
Okay. Nope.
And you
no
get a
luck.
-1 penalty for each debt whenever you're using that skill. Didn't you go into debt last time, so you actually have a -1 on it?
What?
I was going to say, did anyone go into debt yet?
Yeah, I
I
went.
thought you went to debt just last round.
Yeah. So I have like 13. Also, is my result.
Okay, cool. So you're unable to tail him.
Nope.
Awesome. So then let's go to call. You said you were just going to fire wildly.
I am just going to fire on him.
Do it.
You know, so I start to go left and right, and I'm like, screw it. And you know, you just see me with, you know, both hands, you know, clamped down on the triggers.
You're not using the force.
You sound like you're tempting me to use the force.
Yes.
Feel the anger.
Feel the anger.
Yeah, the force is bad too.
Let's try the force. I'm like,
yes. You need a 16. You get to roll 4d6.
Let me clear these. Oh, cancel. I don't know how to do that, so I'm going to re-roll these 3 and then add another one.
Okay. Roll a 10 on those.
And the 6 on the force dice.
Come on, force die.
That's a solid hit.
That is
It's
awesome.
a 19, actually. So.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah. So yeah, you nail him, man. You destroy Omicron leader because he was in a regular tie.
And they don't have shields.
And they don't have shields. To call, you take out Omicron leader, the ISB, the ace.
You hear another whoop of joy.
Great shot,
coming from Gauntlet 4.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks, Gauntlet 5. Like, you expected anything different?
Ooh. Nev, Doob, what are you doing? Let's resolve your action here.
So I'm like, I was for a few moments just trying to get Omicron leader into my tracking system. So I'm like, and then boom, everything just goes out in a streak of blaster fires. So like going through this cloud of debris and fire, like I'm doing a roll and spins around, not around, but like tilt around towards the frigate to just go all in. Like that's my next target I have in mind.
I love the idea of like little pieces of his ship like bounce off your like the debris. That's great.
Yes. That is really cool. I like that. Shake it off. Okay, cool. Good. So
is that something that, due to me stating that I was trying to tail Omicron leader and now I'm changing target, is that sort of just a narration thing? Or
I'm cool if you can change target. Do you want to, if you want to just fire wild with no advantage, you can fire on either the Omicrons?
No, I'm going for the frigate. I was just wondering if I mean I never rolled for tailing Omicron leader.
Well, it's
so
fluid. It's a fluid round. It's not just like tick by tick. So you started to go after Omicron leader. He's gone. So you want to go after the frigate. You can. You can't make a firing pass because you don't have 2 advantages, but you can go ahead and fire with proton torpedo if you want to close in. You have the advantage of a wingman.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll just hit it straight on. So that would give me 3 dice plus my piloting skill.
Plus 3 from your wingman.
All right, excellent. I don't have any force left, so let's see now. Yes, 9, 12.
12 plus
3 from my piloting skill, so 15.
3 from wingman. You have hit. That is the first hit on the Gazanti. And that is 1 damage to the Gazanti. That is awesome. So you come in. I'm imagining you like come in and you. I don't know if you can see it because it is kind of small, but you nail it right in the face, like right near the bridge. And as we pan inside, we see a bunch of people get thrown to the ground, and one person in a console just explodes in their face, and they fall back in their chair, dead. Because of Nev. So, Sorguk, you were also firing on the Gazanti. You want to get advantage, right? So you're using this round to get advantage, or?
Yeah. You know, I think I see this as an opportunity, right? Like, you know, this is the chance to jump in and try to do the damage that needs to be done. So I think as soon as I see Niev kind of like run in there and hit, I'm just going to follow behind and do a similar thing.
Nice. Go for it.
Yeah, I wonder. So if you want to use the force, you do it ahead of time, right? Or do you just roll and see?
I think by the rules using the force, let me take a look. I think you're supposed to declare it ahead of time, but I've already let somebody add that 4th die in, right? So I'm cool with it.
Okay. Yeah, why don't I just shoot and see what happens?
Okay.
So I'll shoot those torpedoes. So that comes out to a 10. You know, I think I just misjudged. I got excited and then went in after. I'm just gonna, miss.
So you roll a 12, and it is it's not enough to hit. Now I get to fire upon you. So Nev, because you are a straight ahead action, you're a little bit easier for the Gazanti to target. So they are going to be firing on you. Here we go. I need 14s. That is a fail. Yep, exactly.
So nice.
And that is not a hit either. Crapping. Oh, that is an 11. Sweet. So after you're firing past the 2 of you, the Gazantis firing all laser batteries, focusing completely on you, Niv, and they can't touch you. You are too fast for them. Omicron 3 is coming around. They broke off because they're no longer a wingman. So they are going to fire on Tikal because Tikal, you killed their buddy.
Killed their leader.
You killed my leader. And they have rolled a 10. Their +1 is not going to do it. And then Omicron 2, which you were trying to tail, is now going to try to tail you, Rarang.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to roll a piloting roll as the two of you guys get in. And you, remember, you have a debt, so you're a -1 on this.
I remember.
I have rolled 15 + 1, 16. I think he's going to tail you.
Yeah. So we see like me giving power to the engines, trying to get lock on him. Works completely opposite. He maybe like perform some crazy stunt on me, and and I'm right now in his sights.
Oh, Sorg, I think you used this advantage. No, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it helped me, right? It's advantage is just +2.
Yeah, it's +2. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to have it sitting out there forever
Yeah.
and be confused. Awesome. So that is the end of the round. As we start the new round, there are 2 TIE fighters, Omicron 3 and Omicron 2. At the beginning of the round, you see that Omicron 2 is peeling off. Or no, Omicron 2 is tailing you. Omicron 3 is tailing off. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. Omicron 3 is tailing off and heading back towards the Gazanti. They do not have a hyperdrive. Now, if the Omicron 3 is headed back to the Gazanti, it is possible that that frigate is going to try to go to light speed and get the hell out of Dodge. So Sorguk and Niv, the two of you have just finished your firing run on the Gazanti. It has a bit of damage, but mostly taken out its shields. So we'll start off with Sorguk. What is your intent? What do you want to do this round?
I think, let's see here. So Omicron, what was it? Omicron 3, is that the one on top? That's the one it's peeling off back toward the...
Yeah,
you know what?
Its intent is to go back to the Gazanti. It wants to go home.
Right. I think I'm going to try to take it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see here. What's that? 11, 13 plus piloting is what, like 2? So yeah, 15.
Oh, so close. Do you want to go in debt? No, actually, you're in. Those are pretty good. That's about as good as you're going to roll.
But are you tailing or shooting?
I was just going to shoot at him.
Okay,
You
you need a
are
16 on
pilot.
just a straight up
Oh,
shooting roll.
did you roll, Rich?
Oh, I thought you said. What do you mean? You
Oh,
see
I
a
mean,
16 on a
yeah,
flyby.
to
You
hit
just
it,
see a
right.
16. It's
Right.
we roll against each other on a tailing.
Right.
So
right.
if you were trying to tail,
No, I was
that
just trying
would've
to
been
shoot.
Okay.
So and with how does debt work? Oh, debt is a reroll, right?
Yep.
No, that's all right. I'm just gonna shoot and
Force?
barely miss.
Do the force.
Yeah, let's do the force.
Yes, yes, for hate and killing.
I think I
Hit it
hear
hard, Gauntlet 5.
my father saying something like, come back alive. Oh yeah, let's do that. That'll be 18.
That is awesome. Okay. So then that's your second kill, isn't it, Sorguk?
That is my second, yeah.
And Tikal took out. What have you killed so far, Tikal?
Mega Leader, and
Okay.
technically I was one of the 2 that took out the Vindictor.
Yep.
But that should definitely be shared.
Oh yeah. Both Tikal and
Whenever you shoot, is that torpedoes or is torpedoes just for the bombing runs?
torpedoes are for the bombing runs.
Okay.
I was just updating my notes because kills are part of boosting stats and stuff. So sorry about that. So Sorg, you fired wildly. You just destroyed Omicron 3. Congratulations. Poor guy was just trying to go home. He was trying to escape. I was going to give him an escape token at the end of the round, but he failed. And we've got Omicron 2 and Reng. So let's see how things are going with Reng. You are being tailed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're being
suppose.
tailed. What do you want to do? You want to shake the tail?
Yeah, I suppose we see my, as we said, R5 AB. You'll need this, and I'm just like seeing this like lock on, like flashing over in the cockpit, and I'm just like try to maybe dive in because we are fighting over some planet, yes.
Yeah, it's over a gas
so,
giant.
Yeah, so I probably like try to like scheme its gravity field to like get this like speed boost to escape. Pretty risky, but yeah, I'm trying to get low and get a sling maneuver.
Oh, that's cool. I love that move.
Yeah, let me roll the dice.
All right, I have rolled a 10. You rolled a 9.
And I have 11.
You shake the tail. Using that gravity well, it's able to throw off the telemetry sensors of the Omicron 2, and it actually, once you break that tail, it's going to break off pursuit and start trying to escape. So next round, it will get an escape token, and if it gets 3 of them, it's out. Nev, do you want to do another bombing run?
Yes, I do. Affirmative.
Cool.
I guess Borsk is still with us. So, Gauntlet Leader, I'm going to go for a second run. Gauntlet Leader.
I've got your back. So you guys hear, you hear over the shared frequency a report of heavy fire, Argent. Yes, sir. Lieutenant Vars is down. Crossfire. We're cut off. Narji, Severe, try to get to the lieutenant. We'll blow her to pieces and we leave her lying there. Everyone else, covering fire. 3, 2, go, get her back. And that's from your ground forces. You guys are still giving protection to. And then you hear, medic, Severe, get your ass back in here. We're coming. We've got him. We've got the target. We just need to get off. Cool. So go ahead and make your attack run, Nev.
I did, and I rolled while you were talking. I'm sorry,
but
no, that's
okay.
Really well. So yeah. I got caught up in the moment.
Did you roll a 16?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
So +2, I guess. Yeah, +2, so 18.
Bam!
And I have Borsk.
Hit the Gazanti again with that proton torpedo, and you see a huge hole open up, explode, and now it doesn't destroy the Gazanti, but it makes a major hit around the cargo area. We see little bodies like fly out into space, and you pass by. So great move, Dan. That is
awesome. And I'm rolling and twisting as I see the torpedoes leave and hit it. I just do a spin, a roll, and then swoops down beneath it and then up again behind it, so I sort of comes up on the far end of it.
Killer. To call, what are you doing?
I didn't get it. Just a question. Did I fire two torpedoes every time I fire?
In order to do the firing pass, you have to get 2. You have to create advantage twice, so it actually takes a little bit before that happens.
All right. So I.
Cool, Steve, you're back. Sweet, you back with us?
I am.
Just okay, good. What does Takal want to do? You're the last to go this round.
I'm going to, let's see, we have 1 fighter left. The frigate, which is preparing to jump, I assume. I'm going to try and take a shot at the frigate while it's still there.
One more shot and this sucker is out.
But this is me being cocky again, so we'll see how it works.
What?
Reroll selected. So 9, 12, only a 15. So again, close.
Oh man, you have the worst luck. So 15, and you got to let it stay because you don't have any more force. You could go into debt. I mean, that's a pretty good roll. So I don't know if I would go into debt over that. I think you just
Yeah, I'm not going
missed.
to go into debt for it.
Yeah. All right. You're so unorthodox and so youthful, brash. Hopefully, Boris got some tips for you if you guys survive.
Don't
Sweet.
get cocky, kid.
Cool. Sorg, did you go this round? You did, right? You took out 3, right? Omicron 3?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that was this
Reveng-
round, I think.
Right. Yeah, sorry. Wish there were an easy way to document this stuff. Have you gone, Varang?
Yes, I checked off the pursuit.
Right. Okay, cool. So Chicago Pursuit, that's the end of the round. So Omicron in the round for you guys, they go. We have batteries that are going to be attacking Nev because of your successful hitting of them. That is an 11. That's not what I need. 10, 13, 14. Not quite what I need. And 6 plus 10. So that is a failure as well. You shook the tail. And so the Omicron 2 is just going to try to escape. So I'm going to give him the first escape token. Bam. So that's the end of the round. At the beginning of this round, you guys get the get a heads up from Cress. He says, the destroyer is breathing down your necks. We have our target. We are jumping to light speed. Gauntlet Squadron, you are free to go. We are clear. Get out of there. And so as we begin this round, if you choose to break off, you can give yourself, you guys can try to get out of here before. You can break off from the Gazanti. It looks like the Gazanti is will break away. It might break away if you do. We'll see. So we'll start off with Borsk saying, go ahead and follow orders. We need to get out of here. Everybody break off pursuit. Break off pursuit, especially you, to call. No more foolhardy attempts to win glory. Got to be careful. So I'll ask to call. Do you break off and follow Gauntlet Leader's orders?
Like, roger that, Gauntlet Leader.
Sorg, what's your
Breaking
response?
off.
I think I guess after I hear the shotgun to call break off, I'll probably do the same.
All right. And then Niv?
Same for me. Roger that, Gauntlet Leader.
Cool. So
Roger that, Gauntlet Leader.
Meringue, what do you do?
Following you, Gauntlet Leader.
Oh, man. You leave Omicron 2. It tails away and heads towards the Gazanti. And you see that it's starting to dock. You guys, all 5 of you, peel off in formation. You have the cool thing of all 5 of the X-Wings peeling off in formation. And you take off. And that ends your mission. You have successfully retrieved your target, taken out. Didn't take out the Gazanti. You nearly took it out. You did take out the Vigilant. And you also took out 3 of the 4 TIE fighters. Congratulations. I'm going to call a quick 3 to 5 minute bio break, and then we're going to go through base stuff with the remaining time that we have left. And we may actually, we'll talk real quick. We may want to just do the base stuff at the beginning of next session. But I'll talk to you guys real quick. We'll talk in 3 to 5.
Okay, give me a minute.
All right.
I'm wondering if I should convert all this stuff over to Roll20 or not.
Does it have support for the character sheets? Probably not.
No, it won't have support for the character sheets. I was just thinking more along the lines of.
Well, I would really say that this could be really beneficial because we are switching between like 4 tabs.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I think what I'm going to try to do over the next week is set this up on Roll20.
Yeah.
Don't like change, but I think it's the right call.
What did you ask? What was the question?
Oh, I was talking with Pavel about the possibility of migrating this over to Roll20, so we have a die roller and the map in one browser. Might be better, easier for everybody.
Yeah, I think it'd
Maybe
be
a
easy
little
to customize the character sheets that are there.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I could
More
move the character, because the character
abilities.
sheets are pretty simple. I wonder if we could maybe do a
Torpedoes.
yeah, and I can drop in maybe a couple of, because you can often just like put on the map. We could put some of the cheats for like, here's how you do stuff. Put it all in one. So I'm going to try to work on that over the next week.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm already doing roses and thorns in my brain there, but that's just a thing that was kind of bouncing in my head as we were playing. I'm like, this is too many different tabs for people to manage, I think.
Yeah. It was a little bit confusing with all the tabs.
I was gonna say I have 3 monitors, but I can't imagine doing this on an iPad.
Oh, gosh. I had to be like getting a headache.
I have 2 monitors, but I like on one to see you guys. So I'm have one for seeing you, and then in one I'm just like switching tabs like.
So based on time, I mean, we could try to bounce through one base scene, but I think if you guys are okay with it, I'd like to just do roses and thorns, and then we'll open up with base scenes in next session. How do you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Cool, because
Sounds
I
good.
feel like, yeah, it's good.
A bit short on time as well, so that would be awesome for me.
Perfect. So let's we'll start roses and thorns. Tomes, while you were away, I just briefly suggested, hey, rather than try to push through on base scenes, I'd really like for them to breathe. So we're going to open next session with the scenes on base, with you guys returning successfully, and you have kills, and we'll work through how all of that works. So I'd like to do roses and thorns to close us out. We start off with thorns. I've already discussed a thorn, which is, I think, the Google drawing and the roll for your party and the Google character keeper spreadsheet. That's too much to manage. So my goal to try to cure for that is over the next week, I'm going to try to import everything into one Roll20 little campaign, and hopefully I can get that knocked out. I don't know how easy or hard it would be to create the few characters. I think that would be like the best, because then you could just click a button and it would roll the dice. I don't know. No guarantees. I've never done it before, but I know Lowell has done some of that stuff, so I may ask him for some help. At the very least, we'll migrate die rolling and the background and moving our dudes around into Roll20. I think it'll be easier for everybody. Anyone object to that, Tomer? Because we didn't get to talk with you about that. Did you have any objections or concerns?
I think that's fine. I mean, I'm kind of able to make this work. I can see what you're saying. There's like a lot of different stuff to jump back and forth with, but you know, I think you handled that really well. Like most of the time, you know, if one of us is looking at a screen and doesn't know the modifier or something, you know, someone's able to get it. So, but yeah, I think it's cool either way.
Okay, cool. Well, let's continue on with thorns as the first one that's kind of burning in my mind. So, Tomer, I'll stick with you. What thorns did you have from today's session? Oh, and Blaze isn't here, but to remind you guys, thorns are things that we could have done better, aspects of the game system that are confusing that you want to make sure that we clarify into next session, aspects of the game that you didn't necessarily enjoy that we can try to tweak as we go forward. And anything that I really fucked up, like totally hit me with that. I'm way open to that. Tomer, what do you think? What thorns did you have?
Game wise, I kind of enjoyed I think the bulk of it, like I can't, nothing sticks out as really negative. I would say, one thing that could be interesting is so that we have the base scenes, and then the combat is going to end up being pretty big and drawn out, right? It's going to take a bunch of the meat, and I think we handled it well. Like everybody. It was exciting, and people were able to add all sorts of things to it. I wonder if there's a way to almost to add something where like kind of the concept of flashbacks or something. Some, like, for example, when you use the Force, like that was a great moment, and I think people took advantage of it. Like I know Christian took advantage of it to feed a little bit of story in there. So maybe with certain mechanics like the Force or debts, maybe use that as a way to kind of add a little narrative that isn't necessarily around the combat. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of 316 a little bit. That's a really interesting thing to explore. I like that. I agree with you. And we're previewing a roast there, but I agree with you that the moment of the use of the Force by Niv was definitely really cool. Cool. Steve, what thorns did you have, sir?
I don't think I have any that weren't mentioned. The screen, tabs is always a little confusing, at first until you get the hang of, what documents you need and what you actually need to reference. But I thought things were generally good.
Okay, good. Pavel, come on, man, you're always good with feedback. I love how good you are with constructive feedback for me.
I think we should maybe like give a rules one more readout, because just to remember all the maneuvers, because I believe that winging only is useful when you are actually on the tail of enemy, not in any other situation. So you have to remember about this little rule details. And I should like read again about these torpedoes, because I didn't read this document you presented. I read the core rules, and there were nothing about torpedoes, so I have to like refresh myself those. Yeah, and I think I seen like regarding combat scenes, we should actually we should remember who already did something, because I believe Tomer acted twice in one round, because you ask what is everyone doing. He took advantage, and then at the end you get back to him, and he like perform an action. So I think it's cool to ask like what is everyone doing, but then we should somehow resolve them in order, I believe.
Yep.
But that's like a mechanical question of like not to do too much stuff in one round. Other than that, yeah. So I will read the actions again.
Yeah, I read it this morning. Like I woke up extra early to do one more read through, and then once we got in, I started getting like bounced around. Yeah. So absolutely another reread, and I think some kind of order of initiative. Maybe I just start going by Gauntlet 1, Gauntlet 2, Gauntlet 3, and I just go down the line. Because they're numbers, so why the hell did I not do it that way? Christian, what thorns did you have, sir?
As said here, I don't have any specifics. I think maybe this could be something personal, taste-wise, but maybe painting scenes a bit more when we're in the space. I mean, sure, we're in a 3D space without top or bottom or sides. You can be wherever, but maybe just like okay, so from behind coming up, or like sort of just maybe getting some descriptors on top of the battle, because it becomes a little bit. I find sometimes tools like an abstracted map or something like that can sometimes sort of come in the way of your imagination. Sort of, it becomes the visual. So use that, absolutely, but maybe also sort of paint the scene, or sort of frame the scene, or put a little bit more paint on the actual events that are happening around us. Maybe, like
no,
from the planet surface, you can see whatever, stuff like that. yeah, okay, that's Roses. So that's my only thing, but I really enjoyed it, so it wasn't a big thing at all.
It's good. I appreciate the feedback. You don't have to. I trust that you enjoyed it, or that you would have left. So we'll stick with you on Roses then, since you started peeking into them.
I was really surprised that it was so fun and engaging to do a dogfight game, sort of dogfighty game. It was so engaging, and I was really caught up like instantly. I really felt I really felt like I was sitting in the cockpit. So very well managed, I must say, and it was good fun. I will definitely try to play this again for sure.
Great. Pavel, what about you? What Rose? Oh, I'm sorry, Christian, did I cut you off?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Roses from you, Pavel?
I really liked your guys' description of what you are doing, where you are flying. I find myself lacking in proper description this session, because I guess I'm not yet used to describing fighter jet actions. But I really like what you guys doing. It was like really giving this needed flavor. I fly there, I destroy the turrets, and so on. So I really liked this part. Yeah. So please continue this.
I'm glad. It's not a skill that I've used in a while. It is those muscles have atrophied. Like coordinating a large battle is something I have not done in years. So I'm glad that, I think I can improve, but I'm glad that at least piece of it were interesting. Thank you, Steve. What about you? What Roses did you have for? Don't forget. Give some attaboys to each other, because I've got a lot to throw out. So go ahead.
Attaboy Tomes. So I really like the mission briefing. I like the different commanders or leaders of the mission. And their take on the different parts of the battle, and knowing that we're sort of something, part of something grander, even if we're just a diversion. But that diversion is going off, and that it's happening, and there's troubles, and knowing that greater scene. And then I thought the pacing of the game turned out very well. Again, the combat felt quick, even if we were just if on the meta side we were waiting to roll the next set of dice. It did feel like a dogfight. It felt more frenetic than a simple map can really demonstrate.
Cool, good, thank you. Tomer.
I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the way you kind of flip different screens throughout the game. So, even during the dogfight, you would jump over to the bridge of, one of the ships, or you'd have an Omicron leader, call out some, or even just them talking to each other, stuff that's off screen, right? Having the planet rebels, the progress of that kind of continue. And it just felt so Star Wars, there's all this fight, but then there's those little breaks where you're kind of and especially with Omicron leader saying I've got this. And, all of us are just oh shit, just we're in the audience, what's going to happen next. Right. So I thought that was really well done. And I will say that if anybody plays this game, to have Star Wars combat music in the background, because that shit was just, like Christian said, you're just in it, right? You're just in the cockpit, and you feel like this whole stuff is going down. It's a lot of fun.
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, thank you, Tomer, for linking us that needs to be I'm going to copy that just so we can drop it in the character sheet thing, so we can have it next time, because that was really awesome. I loved that we had that to listen to. It was really, really fun. Roses from me, and then we'll cut out of here. Really great cast of characters, personalities that drove tactical decisions. You guys were engaged, you were interested, you were giving. It was really, really great to meet these characters. I love how varied and wild they are. I mean, we've got a swoop gang leader. We've got a legacy character of the daughter of Akbar. We got a crazy circus performer from the same place as Count Dooku, a Bothan, and and a person who actually stole a Padawan away. I can't wait to see the base scenes for this group, man. Really love these characters. And I also love that the personalities were brought out so heavily in the tricky ways that you were doing stuff in the dogfight. And I'm glad the dogfight went well for you guys, because I was just thrilled at how much fun this was. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. It seemed like it was much faster resolution, but it wasn't. But it was okay. It didn't feel like a slog to me. And I'm glad that we were able to kind of keep ratcheting things up. Things changed and evolved as you took out TIE fighters. And damn, that frigate couldn't shoot for crap. It sucked. Man, my frigate, terrible shots. Those guys. Had a great time. It was really, really fun. Looking forward to more digging in and seeing you guys in your real lives, and then we can kill one or two of them. So thank you all so much. Had a great time playing with you, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Okay.